So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to share this with you guys and like what I've been doing because my hope is it just inspires you that, as I mentioned in the Zoom, that you already have everything in you to make like what you want with your own business work. And just to know that like I am totally human, no different from you guys. So my main thing that I wanted to make sure when I started this process was I wanted to maintain my Beachbody business. So I'm a Beachbody coach. I know some of us are in other network marketing businesses as well. Obviously, I think we all are because we're in the inner circle. So I wanted to kind of start there, if that's good with you guys, so that you can see how I've been doing both. Because I think that has really been a key piece that would be different than other things that have been trained to me to help me get there. So what I did in the beginning was I went back to like, what did I do in the beginning of my coaching journey? So I've been a coach since 2015. I was like, what did I do back then to just like gain momentum? What was like my bare minimum? And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So my bare minimum, like back in the day, was I just had to talk to 3 people a day. It wasn't even invite 3 people. It was like, I just have to talk to 3 people a day. So I was like, that is your bare minimum. You still have to talk to 3 people a day about what it is that you're doing, because I knew I didn't want to be like, and there just went my Beachbody business. I've seen that on social where people are like, oh, I quit my network marketing business and I'm doing this life coaching thing. And like, sorry, I say it with such sarcasm, but that was like, it just like was not what I wanted. I was like, that is not what I want. Like, cause I really have benefited so much that I don't want to slander the thing that got me to where I am today. And so I just want to share that with you guys. So I knew that I could do this. And the way that I was doing it was I did the same approach that I normally do for launches. So Gut Health Protocol came out. I started this journey back in January. So I started this whole wellness coaching combination of business coaching and then Beachbody coaching journey back in January. But when Gut Protocol launched, I really did what like Monica Taylor has done. I don't know if she ever did share in the group or not, but like she did a team call with us about like the big launch. Well, that's like the big launch program that I did, the process that I did. It basically for me, I just put that even more narrowed down to where I just said, I'm going to put up one post about who wants to do this workout, like who is open to trying a low impact workout, and then another one like who is open to trying new gut healthy recipes. From there, I was able to get 48 interested people, and that kind of blew my mind. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys like that's not my norm. And then I also had an email every single week since March that was out about gut health that I then got people into this. So the people that ended up purchasing were mostly previous clients that I had communication with, but those that were interested, I now have that list of like 48 people that were interested that like I don't have very much communication with. So they're still in my like market of being like, oh, they get to get remarketed. Like I get to actually still continue to build that relationship with these people. So I ended up having 18 total people join with Gut Protocol. Let me just be really clear. I got to Success Club 10 with that. Most of those people just did digital unlock. So I just want to share this with you to like let you know, like I maintained my Beachbody business to a level that I'm comfortable with. I am not a high Success Club point earner. Success Club 10 to me, I'm like, that's awesome. Like super grateful. I always want to be at 10 and above. And so I call that like a big win. And so from there, I realized that I wanted to do more though than this, of course. Like I knew I wanted to implement what Josh was teaching us, what the inner circle ladies are teaching us, what Mark is teaching us. So how did I actually get like this business going? And so this business, in January, I did a vision and goal setting workshop. And I actually charged for that. I did post on social media daily for that for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And I sent out emails about that. And I did the whole who's watching my stories, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to invite them. I didn't pull my numbers for how many people I invited, but I did have 8 people that paid $50 for that. They got a booklet that was made by me and Ashley Shaw. I do pay for Ashley Shaw if you've ever heard of her. So she's like, you know, if you do mompreneur or those type of things, like that type of thing. So I did pay for that. So like I didn't go into Canva and create that, but I used that for I used the 2021 version that I had from her and just tweaked it to 2022 and basically just did that. Most of us probably have something similar to that. That's just like our bread and butter. This is what we could talk about all the time. That's all I did. I just did my bread and butter, what I can talk about all the time. I make jewelry as well. So I enticed them as well to like, hey, when you get up your affirmation or your quote for your year, I'm going to make you a metal stamped hand piece of jewelry that has that on you so that your bracelet now says like your vision or your mission statement or whatever that is. So like that was like me being as creative as I could be. And so again, sold those 8 people for $50. And my 3 clients that I've had that have signed on, all came from that. So all of them came from that thing. But what did I do between then to get like 3 clients at, like to get 8 clients at $50 to get them to pay me $3,000 a client? So 2 of those clients I actually signed on one-on-one shortly thereafter. When I was doing that vision thing, I said, hey, I'm also really working on my life coach certification. And I know through this, I will start doing some sort of one-on-one and group coaching that's outside of my normal Beachbody stuff. If you're interested in being a part of that at the beginning, I'm going to cut my prices by like a third, if not more. And I'm going to give my coaching for like $300 a month, which is so cheap. I'm going to do that. And you can get in on that price if you want to be like one of my first 5 people that join. So out of that, I had 2 people that ended up joining me at that price. So I never did get my 5. I didn't push for it because again, I wanted to maintain both my businesses, maintain my family, all those things. So I just like what comes to me without an excess amount of work is where I went on that basically. And so again, got those 2 clients at $300 a month. I helped them. I helped one of them January, February, and March. And then the other one I've been helping February, March, and then this month, April is her last month. So this is my like last month with her. I will welcome her to a re-enrollment at the higher price at the end of this month. But basically, my bigger process to help me really get this moving was, my assistant had told me for years to get into this type of coaching. I hired Bree back in like May of 2020. And, she had just told me that she could help me with some of my stuff. But what she's really done for me is she's helped me with my mindset. So like I have somebody kind of like Josh, kind of like Mark, that's helping me with mindset for a while and has been showing me what's possible by telling me about her other client successes. They're not network marketing clients, they're coaches. And so I was just like, yeah, okay, that's for them. But I had it always in the back of my brain. So, that's where most of us probably are. We have it in our brain from somebody else telling us, you're good at this. You should do something else with this skill set that you have. And so I already had that, but then I had kind of started toying around with the idea of sharing a little bit like, okay, I've got these 2 clients that I'm helping at like $300 a month. I know that that's not how I want to continue to help. Like I know I'm worth more than that, but because I don't know specifically what I'm going to give to them, like, let me just kind of play with this for a little bit. And honestly, the experiences have been fantastic for them and for me. But in February, I actually had a coach reach out to me and on social media, and it was one of the most genuine messages I've ever seen. And this is honestly what I think changed everything for me. So I'm just going to read you this. So he said, hey, Tamara, came across your profile and noticed you're a mother while empowering others. My mom is a huge inspiration for why I do what I do, and my heart goes out to all the mamas out there. Anyways, I loved your post about a clear launch plan and modeling that for your clients. I'm a huge standout for that and currently on a mission to help a few coaches like yourself take impact to the next level and love what you're up to. This is my part I loved. I know there's a lot of spammy BS out there, and I wanted to ask if instead I could send a quick personalized video showing you how I might be able to support. And so with that, I sent a voice message back and I was like, I didn't know this guy. No, most of the time we don't respond to people who like just pop into our inboxes, like, right? We don't do that. We don't want to do that. Like, especially in the network marketing world, we're like, oh my God, I'm so done with that. Like so done with that. But sometimes that is how it works. And it was a God thing. I really, truly believe that because it was in the other inbox. I barely ever checked that. I just so happened to check it. And I was like, that wasn't actually very spammy. Like that was very genuine. I had just put up a story about how I had this launch plan already put out there for me. Like I have a launch plan every single month. I have a launch strategy already in there. When we got COVID in January, I didn't let COVID dictate my business. I was like, no, screw this. I know I have a launch plan. I can still do this. And I did. And I just shared that in a story. I shared like, nope, I have these 3 systems in place. And that was what he was responding to. So that's how he found me. So I sent a voice message back and he was like, nobody ever sends voice message back. He sent me a video recorded on Loom about how he saw my energy and thought that it would be worth it to have a chat. And I was like, okay, cool. Like totally open to having a chat. I don't think he knew at the time that like I was really more of a Beachbody coach than a coach because he normally coaches coaches. But I sent him a video back and was like, hey, he sent me a video. He sent me a video and was like, hey, I just really liked your energy. Really think that we could crush some things. This is what I do. I'm known for helping people enroll. And, he said some other things, basically like a little bit of his numbers. And I was like, yeah, if he can help me with this, like, I know Josh is going to help me with this. And I know Mark is going to help me with this, but like, I need to go. Like, I saw my husband literally landscape while having COVID. And I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done with living this way where like my husband has to go into a job when he is sick and clearly sick, but because it's outside and nobody else is around him, his boss is like, if you can do it, just do it. And I'm like, this makes me feel terrible. Let me contribute to our family. So that was really also, I had like a burning desire to get this going. And so when I started talking with him, this whole enrollment process is what he taught me. So this is now how I enroll people. So we chatted, and he saw that like my coaching business, he was like, I clearly see that you're starting a coaching business, and I think I could give you some ideas that could support you. And if so, if I feel like it's a good fit, I'll invite you to a second call. And so then at the end of that like 30-minute call where he just kind of asked me about my visions and my goals, he invited me to a second call. We had a second call like a day or two later. And between that time, I like stalked him on Instagram, and I saw that he had helped somebody create 30K in 30 days. She was a really laid back person. Like, I have really high energy, as you can tell, like when I talk, I just, woo, but like, she was like super calm. And like, that's, if you're Beachbody, you get like the difference between Autumn and Alana. I want to be Alana. I am Autumn. Like, there's like, it's just like, that's just how it is. But so I am attracted to Alana's. I was really attracted to like her calmness. And I was like, whoa, she's like just a mom, and she's just done this. Like, she's figured this out. And through his help. And then like there's other testimonials like that. And so I was like, you know what, like I know I'm doing this other thing. I don't even care. Like, I need to get this thing off the ground. Like, whatever he offers, like, I'm in. Like, I had already made that decision. Like, I'm in. And so when we got on that next call, I hired him. Like, it's normally like a big sales call. And I was like, I know you want to know all this stuff. Like, I just take my money. Like, it really was just like, I just take my money. And so I will be honest with you. So Inner Circle and Push, I paid is 11,000, I think was like the total or something like that, or 333. But anyways, I don't remember, but a lot of money, like a lot of money. It's not like I was making that much money in my Beachbody business. I made like 35,000 last year, I think. I tell numbers because I think that that's helpful, so that you get like you kind of understand where you are, where I'm at, that kind of thing. So I'm not like one of those like, oh, I just have all this money to spend. It was like, no, here's a credit card, and I don't even know how to use credit cards. Like, that's literally where I was at the beginning of this. And when I say I don't know how to use credit cards, like, I literally don't use credit cards. So it's been a process for me. Okay. So then when I did this other one, I was like, take my money. And I was like, I actually don't think I have a credit card though. Like, I really didn't. I was like, I think it's maxed out. And then I was so honest, and my husband already and I had this discussion. I was like, can I just show you like my bank? Like, I literally don't think I have money. And he was like, okay, let me just see. And so we looked, he's like, okay, so you have like 2,000 left on your credit card. And I was like, I think so. Because I told him what the max was. And he was like, okay, so let's just do that. So he let me just put a down payment down, even though he normally only takes paid in full. So like, I got like very vulnerable with somebody. So because I wanted to make money, like, because I knew I needed to make money for our family. So that's why I'm telling you, you might be in that position, or you might be like, no, I actually have some money saved. But I trusted his process. Okay. So I trusted his process. I agreed to the contract of when I owed him the rest of the money, and I worked on my vision again. So even though I had coached people on vision at the beginning of the year and I worked on mine, I worked on it again with him, and I broke it down to financially how many people I wanted to help and at what price point I wanted to help them. And then I was still really unclear on how. So that's what we worked on. So I ended up doing 26 free 1-hour phone calls called the discovery process. So this was content that this coach, Alexander, gave me, was the actual questions that I would ask them for me to get them on the phone. Hold on one second. You okay? You okay? Where's your daddy? Not sure? Okay, come here. Come here. What happened? She threw something in your nose? I'm so sorry. Okay. So, I asked them, I said, hey, it's been a little while. How are things going? I wanted to, I hope you're doing well. It's been a little while. I'm currently in the process of launching my next venture and doing market research to see who I can add the most value to when you came to mine. I'd love to interview you for 45 to 60 minutes sometime this week. Would you be open to helping me out? So very unspecific. like nobody knew what I was interviewing them for. And so you can do this similarly with like what we've just been told, like we need to do these calls. And you can, you know, you don't have to do it for 45 or 60 minutes if you're working through a push method, but I really liked that it was pretty generic. And that's how I set up all my calls. So again, I set up, I think I added 30 people to a list and I talked to all of them. Not all of them said yes. Some of them, you know, as I was going through this process, other people would come to mind. And I did that in a 2-week period. So I talked to all of those people in a 2-week period. So that was a huge push. And that was literally as gut health was launching. So this was literally the same week that protocol was launching. So it was busy, but like when you're determined, you'll make it happen. Like you really just will. And I can even remember like she was home with me part of the time. I think my other kid got sick 1 or 2 of the days. So it was just like, it was a push, but it was like, it was what I wanted. And so when I would ask the questions on those calls, I asked questions about what their vision was, what their end game was from a year from now, what the problems and challenges and the gaps they had, where they would want to be in 3 months. And then I looked for more client possibilities by asking them like, hey, what have you invested in before? What programs have you done before? And who are 2 people like you that would be open to doing a call like this? And from that, I was able to start to see that most of my people's gaps and their problems and getting to where they wanted to be were similar. It was, they have a strategy and they've either followed it in the past and they're not sticking to it, or they've actually never been taught a strategy. So they just really don't know how to get to where they want to go. And most of the people I talked to were other network marketers, some online boutique owners, realtors, hairstylists. So I talked to people that like, I really felt like, I think I could add value to them. I have a background as an Etsy business owner. I had, you know, the network marketing business. So I knew that I could probably add value to people that were selling on social, and I wanted to do business coaching. Like I've always been more interested in that than I have, but I had some of that limiting belief, like, who are you to business coach when you like, you know, you make like 30 grand a year, like what, like that's ridiculous, you know? But then I'm like, yeah, but I like love it. And every time I've coached somebody, like they've found some success. Like any of my coaches that actually let me coach them, they have found some sort of success. So I'm like, okay, so I know what I'm doing. And so it turns out that through that process though, I also found that some people really weren't invested in their vision, like, or in their business. So I knew that like, it wasn't a good fit, but I did enrollment calls with the people that were invested in it. And so the first time that I offered something, my first offer was like a 6K offer instead of a 3K offer. And it was really hard. Like I was struggling with that price point, going from, you know, $160 challenge packs to asking somebody to pay you $1,000 or $2,000 a month at that point. Cause I do a 3-month. And so it was 6K paid in full, or like 2,200 each month or something like that is what I offered. Basically, she said no. She had this killer idea for homeschool homestead that I think would be bomb, and I would have had like a ton of fun like working with her, but she wasn't interested in investing in herself. There was a couple others, and I'm just sharing this with you, another couple that was in real estate that told me no because they were also trying to build an online boutique. I totally see where I could help them with both of those things. But they really didn't want to hear the offer. They were like, no, we're just doing this again to like help you practice, but like, we're not going to like invest in anything. And I was like, well, then I'm not going to tell you like my package. I'm not going to tell you what my offer is. Because after I talked to all those people, I made an offer, and the offer was similar to an accountability tracker, not quite the same. As well as the weekly sessions, and then Boxer support in between. But there's a lot more layers that I offer in between there. But another person she geeked out when we started talking about money, even though she told me that she wasn't going to have a problem making a decision, yes or no. And so when we started to talk about like, okay, I'm going to give you the offer, I could tell she was geeking out. I was like, I'm not going to give you the offer, because like I could tell you're not going to make a decision, and this isn't going to be coming from a powerful place. So, when you're ready to work from a powerful place, we can have a discussion again. So I just had to get really honest with some of these people. And I think if I had head voice, heart voice method before I started talking to some of these people, I would have helped them more, but I didn't. So this is where I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, you could totally do this and like do so much more than me. And then other people who had a network marketing business and a side creative business like me, offered it to another person like that. I did a 5K offer instead, and she saw the value, but she wasn't willing to invest yet. And I'll offer her a group later. So I've already have it in my brain that I'm going to offer group coaching, and I'm going to offer her the group option later. And then, it's just one of those things like, so I think I actually, and I did all of this through phone calls. I didn't do this through the inbox. All of this was through phone calls. So basically there was like the discovery call and the enrollment call. Each of them were about an hour. And when I do my enrollment call, I reapproach like, hey, this is like like this, you shared with me your vision last time. Do you mind if we go over that? And if I see something of value that I can add to you, I'll share with you what I think that is. She said, stop, please. I'll share with you what I think that is. And we can go and we can, create something really incredible together if you decide that it's a good fit for you. Does that sound okay to you? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And so that's really what we do. We just reapproach what their vision is. I share with them the opportunity for them to make a choice. Do you want to stay over here and keep going down the path that you want to go down? Or do you want to choose your vision and learn some techniques that could help you really change this? And then what I do is I share with them like the 3-step process of like getting to where we are. And we first focus on people's belief, and then we focus on them building, and then we focus on them blessing like their family with everything and their friends with everything. Cause that's, again, who I work with is mostly moms. And as I'm sharing with them the details of this, I'm like, do you see how this is going to help your family? Do you see how this is going to help your finances? So like, I haven't even shared like how much my program costs. I'm sharing details, and I'm like, do you see how this is going to help you? And then they say yes. And so that's when they're getting buy-in, and they're already like getting this buy-in. And then by the time I'm like, okay, great. What it is the Biz Well method. And then I go through like the process of like, this is what it is. And I share my offer. And I just kind of wait for them to respond, because it's just like, I end with, and right now I end with, and it's $3,000 paid in full or $1,200 a month. And then I just pause and I just wait. And so, but this is all like taught, again, through like what Josh has taught, a combination of like what Josh has taught, and then like what I paid this one-on-one coach to help me with. So it was really just taking big action for this other business. And I don't know if that was helpful. I hope it was. But do you have questions, thoughts, feedback?
Honestly, is a lot more than I was expecting you to say. So that was awesome. No. It was good. It was good. It's very deep in what you did. And it's amazing, like how you planned it all out.
Yeah.
There's someone on our Beachbody team, or not on our team, sorry, in Beachbody. We saw that she hit SC 1000 or something in December. Yeah. And we're like, how the hell did you do that? And then you look at the whole story, it's like, that's what you just did. You just showed us the whole story, what you did the last few months. Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Are you talking about Natasha Pearson?
Yeah.
Yeah. When when she was talking about her numbers, I was like,
how the hell did you do that?
Yeah. And of course, it's just a lot of, like I have hired Melanie Mitro and Katie Olsta in the past, like from Chic Influencer, like their brand. Like I've hired them to like not their group, but to one-on-one coach me. I did that last year, and that helped me get to Premier. It was one of those things, I've always invested in coaches, I think, because that's really truly what's worked for me. And I think that that's what's beautiful about like what we're able to provide people, is to just, give them that opportunity to invest in you and let you help them get to where they want to be. And it's just a process. It's been a long process. I've done a lot of, webinars, seminars, in-person events that I think all really add into this. And it's just, and you guys probably all have too. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, we've probably all done so much that it's just like, just go share what we know with other people. And we really only have to be one step ahead. And it's just having that, I think it's really having that clear vision and confidence going into it. Because at first I didn't have that confidence to share I originally wanted to charge $8,000 for a 3-month package. And then I was like, no, girlfriend, like, I'm not ready for that. And then I went down to 5,000, and I gave that offer to just a few people. And normally my coach wants you to give that offer to like 10 people before you change your price. But we gave it to like 5, and I was like super stuck, wasn't doing more phone calls, wasn't taking on more phone calls, went down to 3. I had those first 2 people that signed up. And now I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to go back up to 5. But then I'm like, no, just do your next. I will do my next 2 at that 3,000 mark, and then I'll get them through, and then I'll go through. I'll see about my prices and see about how I can improve to make that feel good to me.
I love that a lot, because then you can get their like testimonials to help you share that value that you're able to give them too.
Exactly. And that's one of the things too, when you get a win from a client, is to right away, like ask them like, hey, would you mind sharing a testimonial about that? Even like with our network marketing businesses. And that's not something that I had done at first. And then giving them, and I think Josh covered this in one of our calls not too long ago, like how to get the testimonial or what to pull from it. But basically it's just like, hey, why'd you sign up? What was the problem that you had before? What was your outcome? What's your future showing you? And do you recommend me? And that's like, and so doing that, I think anytime we get like a client that shares a win with us, like I think it's good to do that. And then, oh, sorry, sweetie. And then the chicken foot method, where it's like what I said in the beginning when I was talking to all those people in the discovery calls. And I think KK shared this from Tony Robbins' team. It's the referral method. And it's like, hey, I just did this awesome call with you. So like when we're going through our push method and we're doing these certification calls, it's, hey, who are like, hey, you had such a great job with this head voice, heart voice. Who are 2 people that you know would benefit from something like this too? And so I think it's just like us remembering those things that I wish I would have done when I first started my network marketing business, to ask for the 2 referrals and to get the testimonials. I think that those are 2 things that I've learned this year. And then I also like just trust in my email process now. Holly Hillier helped me kind of decide that as well. So yeah, there's a lot, like that was a lot. Again, like I'm so grateful that we're doing the push coach certification. I'm so grateful that we're doing like everything within Inner Circle. But I think the thing that made me take action was investing in, I hate to be like investing in yet another coach, but like, I was like, yeah, I need to pay these people back, and I need to pay off my credit card ASAP, because I like, again, I don't like, my husband and I were Dave Ramsey people. So like having stuff on credit, like what is happening? I don't know how to do this, but it's like, that's just, it's just something that is a money thing I have to work through, of knowing that it's an investment. And like, I really wanted to invest because I wanted to play full out. And I know that I can see it like becoming to where, okay, instead of investing and like putting money on credit cards to pay for this, I'm going to have more money flowing into us from this. I mean, I've already made, like $1,000 more in this other business than I have in my Beachbody business this year. So like, I'm just like, okay, like I see like my energy is there, and I can, make money, and I can help other people at the same time at a higher level. Like my clients are really showing up for themselves. And that's what I also love. And, instead of me getting messages of, oh, I haven't pushed play on my workout yet. I'm like, it's been 3 weeks. I'm so sorry. I don't understand. Like, so I like it. Like, they're like, yeah, I'm doing my tracker. These are my results this week. Yes, I did my morning mindset routine. Yes, I did. And I tell them to, like the trust affirmation thing has been huge for me. So I'm like, hey, my coach, Josh, he taught me this thing to check out at the end of the workday. Do you need that? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And like, I bring them, like Josh sent an email a long time ago that was like, here's my trust. I literally just like forward that email to them. I'm like, here's this email, like go and click on the link. Josh sent you this trust affirmations like that. I do that with my clients. So I use a combination of like a lot of things that we've all been doing and accessing, and I just help them. And yeah, I know that was a lot.
Is that how you kind of formulated your tracker for them? It's kind of similar to like Josh's?
It was similar to Josh's. Even like when Josh first did his tracker, I ended up tweaking mine a little bit so that I could really focus on like Etsy business, this like Beachbody business, and then the coaching business. And I've kind of put Etsy as like, she's a backup dancer. Like she's no longer on the front of the stage at all. But I still do it because I enjoy it. But like, it's not one of those things I put energy and effort into making happen. But yeah, so I had to tweak his tracker to begin with. And that's why I came up with the authentic accountability tracker. So yeah, that's been really, really helpful for my clients. And I did another tracker a long time ago that I combined into this. And it was like helping me set good, better, best goals every month of like, okay, good would be Success Club 10, better would be Success Club 15, best would be Success Club 20. And so then I backtrack, okay, if I want 20, I need to talk to 200 people minimum. All right, cool. Like now I need to talk to 50 people minimum a week. So I help any of my like clients, like my coaches. So I help them with that as well. And that goes into my tracker. So it's just like, hey, if my best goal is X many people. And so instead of like my people having to talk to 10 people a day, that's actually not authentically true to you. Like what is authentic, like, cause that's not how many people you want to have. And then one of my clients, she's well, one of my clients is a housekeeper and the other one's a boutique owner. So like that doesn't ring true for them. Their trackers look different. So we make it for what their business is. But yeah. All right.
That was super helpful. Thank you for taking the time and doing this.
You are welcome. You're so welcome. I'm glad that I'm able to share. And I hope that this just continues to inspire you to really, I think it's just vision and taking action. I really do. And then for me, it was like having just the confidence of, my coach has helped me, my coach and my mentors, and this community has all helped me a lot with like continuing that confidence and making it happen.
Yes, I love that so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. All right. I'll share this with the group
Bye.
later. Have a
Perfect.
good one. Bye.